Really comfortable night for baseball here in San Francisco. Temperature around 60 degrees. Light blue skies above as the Dodgers and Giants get ready to play game 1 of the 4 this weekend. And the Dodgers send this lineup to the plate for the series opener with Chris Taylor to lead it off. Then Austin Barnes hitting second. Kike Hernandez hitting third. Kemp bats cleanup tonight. Grandal does the catching, hitting fifth. Bellinger's at first out of the 6th spot, a little bit lower in the order than we've seen him in a couple of weeks. Puig's back in there in right, and Kyle Farmer gets the start at third base. Derek Collins signed a minor league contract with the Giants right before spring training, made the rotation because of injuries. Tonight makes his 5th start. The Giants trying to win one of his starts for the first time this year. Through his wind, and off we go with strike 1 on Chris Taylor.
Derek Collins is throwing more strikes this year, and it's something that the Dodgers will wrestle with, toggling between being aggressive and being selective.
1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers saw him his first start of the season. Scored 5 runs against him in his 5 innings of work. Only gave up 3 hits in that game, but struggled with control and some poor defense around him. 1-2.
Dodgers looking for a spark. Bad memories of the first series here, getting shut out. Chris Taylor at the top of the order, trying to be that spark again.
Leading the game off and trying to lay off. He does. 2-2.
You know, how does a long road trip get longer? By not winning early.
Yeah. I'll have these 4, then 4 in Arizona, 3 against San Diego in Mexico. Longest trip of the year. And it starts with a strikeout from Taylor as Holland puts it in at the knees. Giants defense tonight brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC and Evan Longoria, who's won 3 Gold Gloves, including one last year in Tampa Bay. He's struggled at the plate, and he's also struggled in the field for him. Already 4 errors committed.
4 errors committed. He has always been a good fielder, but has struggled here in San Francisco so far. In his career, when he plays a full season, 14 is the most he's ever had. So to have 4 already is not good for him.
Probably didn't hurt having the true surface, artificial surface in Tampa Bay. And 0-1 to Austin Barnes. Bottom of the zone with a changeup, and it's 0-2.
See this changeup every once in a while.
Barnes flips it off the end of the bat, down the line. McCutchen over the bullpen mound to catch it. Giants fans holding their breath as they see one of their outfielders go over the bullpen mound. Mac Williamson, who has been red hot since they called him up last week, tripped while going over a bullpen mound trying to make a play earlier this week. This is the 2nd game in a row he's been out, and they say now he's in the concussion protocol, having banged into the wall after tripping.
And that's bad news for the Giants, but it's good news for them because he was able to kind of turn his head right before impact. And they think that saved him a lot of pain.
Kike Hernandez fouls off the first pitch that he sees. Well, the Dodgers losing that series to the Marlins. Even with that, they've won 7 of 10. After a 4-9 start to the year. You know, because they lost those back-to-back games to the Marlins, one of the worst teams in baseball, really doesn't feel like they've won 7 of 10. You don't have that same good feeling you'd expect.
No, and I think there was even a little extra focus with the Dodgers around the cage, thinking that that series was a little bit of a microcosm of their inconsistency. Feeling good about the 7 and 10, but not feeling good about that series at all. The bullpen was very good coming into that series, but then took a turn for the worse. Holland pitches 1-2. It's ball 2.
Giants, meanwhile, have won 3 of 4. They'd won 3 in a row before Wednesday against Washington. They gave up a season high 15 runs in the final game against the Nationals. They're 11 and 13. On a 2-2, Hernandez watches it miss badly, and the count is full.
It was a breaking ball, as you see him trying to mimic what he was trying to accomplish, but didn't get there.
Holland looking for a 1-2-3 first. Hernandez takes inside and extends the inning with a walk.
They went back to the same pitch that they got Chris Taylor with, but this one did not end up being a strike. See Posey's glove kind of go inside there, and it was a ball.
And it gets Matt Kemp to the plate with 2 out here in the first. One of the best hitters in baseball against left-handed pitching this season. Swings and misses at the first one, strike 1. And finds himself batting cleanup. Cody Bellinger slid down in the order. And so for Barnes in the 2 spot, Hernandez in the 3 spot, and Kemp in the 4 spot. 3rd time this year for all those guys in those individual spots. Kemp hits a ground ball to 3rd. There's Longoria going the short way to finish the Dodgers in the 1st. The Giants come to bat against Hyun-Jin Ryu when you come back. Games and opening a 4-game series tonight. Giants coming to bat for the first time this evening. Here's their lineup. Joe Panik will lead things off. Then it's McCutchen and Posey. Longoria bats cleanup. Brandon Belt having a huge season. First baseman will bat 5th. Austin Jackson, another one of the new Giants. He's in center. Crawford at short. And Gorkis Hernandez makes the start in left. Last start for Ryu against the Nationals, 7 shutout innings. In all his last 3 starts now. He's gone 19 innings and given up just 2 runs. His first pitch tonight is a strike on Panik.
He has been on a roll, and it has been a very good strategy. Joe Panik, the kind of guy you want to shut down. He has been a Dodger killer.
Those back-to-back 1-0 wins for the Giants to open the season. Of course, Panik, the man that hit the solo home runs in those games. And would you believe it that he's hit just 1 home run since?
Some mechanical changes in his swing, letting the bat go a little bit more and adding a little bit more power with a little leg kick and turn of the front hip. And he showed it off early in the season against the Dodgers.
Ryu's ahead of him 0-2. And downhill with the next one. First time in a long time the Giants will avoid Kershaw in a series, and it's especially surprising considering it's a 4-game set. The way some of these Giants have struggled lifetime against Kershaw, they're really lucking out to miss him. Ryu with another 0-2. Ball 1.
Been well documented that Ryu's arm is feeling better. His stuff is crisper. Velocity's up, which also takes the spin up because you have more arm speed to spin the ball, make the off-speed stuff sharper, break more.
Ground ball to first. Bellinger to the bag for the first out. Dodger defense brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. And Kike Hernandez, for the 3rd time this season, starts it short, and it hasn't mattered where he's been. He's been tremendous defensively for the Dodgers.
Most utility guys are guys who play multiple positions. They're really good at one and solid at others. Kike seems to flash the leather no matter where you put him on the field.
Starting there for Corey Seager tonight. Ball on a McCutchen. Seager on Wednesday, the final inning of that game, this awkward fall, tweaked his hip. And they say everything's fine, but an extra day off. Lined up with a left-hander on the mound, and he's struggled against lefties so far this year. McCutchen hits a high fly ball to deep center. Chris Taylor drifting back with plenty of room for the 2nd out.
It's very hard for Corey Seager to sit. He's the kind of guy who wants to play every day, no matter how he feels. There next to his mentor, Chase Utley. That's the only benefit of sitting a day. He gets to be next to Utley and learn a lot of baseball.
2 out in a scoreless 1st inning, and Buster Posey looks at strike 1. Well, like a lot of guys in this Giants lineup, Posey not having the best offensive stretch. 179 over his last 10 games. On the season, the Giants dead last in the majors, scoring just a little more than 3 runs per game.
Almost every category for the Giants offense is well below average and near the bottom. They retooled thinking they were going to get some more offense. Hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, all those guys they brought in, McCutchen, Longoria, Austin Jackson, we're only a few weeks in, but some of the worst numbers of their careers so far.
But not just average or on base percentage, slugging too. It's not like they're hitting for a low average, but the power's still there. They're even wondering about the guy at the plate's power. Hasn't had many extra base hits, Buster Posey.
6 total. Soft ground ball to short. Kike Hernandez. 1-2-3 1st inning for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Off and rolling in San Francisco. Glad you're with us for this series opener. No score after 1. Out on the water right now. Temperature is about 58 degrees here in the ballpark. A little colder out on the water, of course. Great crowd for this series opener. 2 tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And they'll wrap up the series on Sunday at 2. Now Smiley Grandal leads off the second against Derek Holland and takes ball 1.
First time Derek Holland has thrown a first pitch ball. But they have all been fastballs. Gotten ahead in the first inning.
Comes with a 1-0. It's inside ball 2. Coming off an outing in Anaheim on Saturday where he gave up 4 runs on 3 home runs. Grandal with a big cut and a miss, 2-1. And home runs were a big part of the issue for him last year when he was with the White Sox. 3rd worst ERA in baseball. Chicago released him in early September. 2-2.
Sometimes you find bargains from veterans that have experienced winning and all of a sudden struggle. They have an experience and they have a feeling of where winning is at for them. Sometimes they just need a little of adjustment because of age or health. Maybe losing a little velocity on the fastball.
Grandal off the end of the bat to right field for McCutcheon. Holland, 31 years old. He's out of Newark, Ohio. This is his 10th year in the majors. Most of those coming with the Texas Rangers. Had 8 seasons there. The back-to-back pennants. 2010 and 2011. 2010 losing to these Giants in the World Series. 1 away in the second, and here's Bellinger. Strike 1. Cody hit just 190 on the homestand, and today for the first time in more than a couple of weeks slides down out of the cleanup spot.
We have such high expectations for Cody Bellinger after the Rookie of the Year award and all the home runs and RBIs. But Dave Roberts continues to understand that he's a young man learning how to play at this level. Overpowered the league first getting here, but now the league is adjusting and he's in the midst of adjusting back.
Takes a breaking ball low and he's ahead 2-1.
When the league is surprised by you and you surprise the league, it's amazing how they start paying attention. A little bit more detail in the pitchers meeting when the name Bellinger comes up. A little more detail when the scouts are in the stands looking at the 4-hitter for the Dodgers. All of a sudden you're getting a little bit more intensity and concentration on how to get you out.
On a 2-2 from Holland, he takes ball 3. With Puig due next.
Yasiel went through that same transition. He caught the league by storm and really in some ways is still looking for that adjustment in the complete approach to an offensive game.
Bellinger with a nice looking walk. Second one drawn by the Dodgers against Holland. And a 1-out base runner for Puig. Yasiel trying to get going. 0 for his last 11 and continuing to work hard with Turner Ward, who says mechanically he's right where he needs to be. Just the timing still a touch off. First one, strike 1.
For Yasiel and all of us, actions speak louder than words, and that would register as hits for him. And being an emotional young man, not getting the results, it's also a very big battle, especially in the timing category, because it can make you anxious to make things happen.
Inside corner, strike 2. Sure was a focused round of batting practice for him today, though, wasn't it?
It was. He was one of the ones that Turner Ward was yelling out situations to really intensify his concentration and what he's trying to do. Anything from move him over to get him in from third to infield in.
Fights off a fastball to stay alive.
You really have to compliment him, as he came into the year with the same work ethic as last year that turned around his career, working on the same mechanics that he and Turner Ward perfected last year near the end of the year. But he hasn't gotten the results, but he hasn't lost his confidence in the process.
Takes inside, ball one.
You can see so many guys waver, you know, when you don't get the early results from all the work. And he has been out early, working hard with Turner Ward. Dave Roberts is continually in his ear, motivating him.
Bellinger at first with one out, and Holland to Puig after a toss over there. First time through the order is when Derek Holland gives up most of his damage. You get past that, he's been pretty difficult. Despite the overall body of work where the numbers not looking real good. There are the numbers by times through the order. Usually it's the other way around. More times you see a guy, the better the numbers get. Now 1-2. Puig gets a big bouncer. Panic's got it. He'll fire, hold on to the ball instead of firing to first. And Puig's aboard on a fielder's choice. Couldn't slide from Bellinger.
A few boos here in the house, but Panic had to take a tough route to get this ground ball, then go back, not toss it, and he's got himself just right in the line, and Cody is not doing anything out of the ordinary. Most second basemen you'll see on the right field side or the infield side of the bag or back towards the shortstop side. Very rarely do you see them there, but that's just because of the way the play developed.
With two out, it's Farmer. And Farmer hits a bullet to left. Cut off on a bounce by Hernandez. Puig to second. Kyle Farmer with his first hit in 10 days. His playing time has been a little bit hard to come by lately. But it extends his second inning.
Take a look at it on the Volkswagen replay. Holland has been trying to pitch most of the guys early fastballs and also working the inside part of the plate to right-handed hitters. Farmer was ready for it.
Gets Ryu to the plate here with two out. And like you so often talk about it, at the very least you get the lineup turned over instead of starting the third inning with a pitcher. Though Ryu no sure thing as far as retiring the pitcher. Puig got a great jump on that one, and even if it had been caught cleanly, I'm not sure it would have drawn a throw. He steals third, and they're at the corners.
In some ways, if the ball gets away from Buster Posey with Puig stealing, if it caroms a long way away, Puig might even have a chance to score, but Buster blocked it a little way and then grabbed it with the glove. But Yasiel did have a huge jump. Kyle Farmer will probably be mad at himself that he didn't tag along.
Ryu might have bought a strike there with a little hop out of the way. Or bought a ball. 2-1. That smoked is short, knocked down by Crawford, whose internal clock tells him he's got all night. He throws Ryu out, and we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. A lot of mutual respect and admiration between those two men. Dave Roberts played for Bruce Bochy, first in San Diego, then here in San Francisco, and has taken a lot of what he does as a manager from Bruce, partially from him, partially from Bud Black. No score in this one to the bottom of the second. And Hyun-Jin Ryu to Evan Longoria with ball one. Well, Longoria off to a slow start in his first season here in San Francisco, and he's admitted that he's been pressing, combined with getting used to a new clubhouse and new teammates, new ballpark. Hits it off the end of the bat down the line. That is foul, and it's 1-1. And the other thing is, he said he's adjusted his pregame routine to where he's spending 15 or 20 minutes each day watching video of the opposing pitcher. That's new, because in the American League he'd already seen all these guys and didn't need to do that work. Sharp looking breaking pitch has him way out in front, 1-2.
That type of swing really comes from somebody who is pressing and wants results right now. That is really being fooled on a pitch that started way out of the strike zone and never really made it back to the strike zone.
Longoria's strikeout percentage way up from where it's been traditionally. 32-year-old in his 11th season takes this one in the dirt, 2-2. One of the top hitters in the American League for a chunk of his career. Really his first 6 seasons in Tampa Bay, he was elite. The last 4 years he's been closer to average. He's worked it full.
When he first came up and I saw him there and Tampa signed him to a long-term deal as a young man, it's like guaranteed Hall of Famer. I mean, just really overpowering at the plate in a lineup that didn't always have protection.
He was the Rookie of the Year, 2008. All-Star each of his first 3 seasons. Not been an All-Star since.
You know, that's the surprising thing, because he was so locked in and so consistent, so strong. And odd that that's when the really good seasons were early in his career. I'm sure he didn't know the league's pitchers then.
No, you're right. Another payoff. Drives this ball to deep center. Taylor's running out of room. Longoria with a solo shot to open the second. It's his 5th, and the Giants have a 1-0 lead.
Ryu tried to come in. You can see Yasmani Grandal wants the ball down, but when a ball misses up by about 8 inches, that is a huge miss as far as location. That elevation gave Longoria the ability to lift that ball to a very tough part of the park to hit a home run.
Brandon Belt now cuts and misses at the first pitch. That, by the way, is the first 2-strike hit against Hyun-Jin Ryu this year in 44 at-bats that had reached 2 strikes. The league 1 for 44 now.
And avoiding the home run ball has been part of the big turnaround for Ryu from last year, years past.
On to the second that he's allowed. He deals a 1-1. Belt flips it down the left field line. Matt Kemp hustling and out of room.
Yeah, Ryu in recent past, before he got on this hot streak last year, was giving up a home run about 1 every 6 innings. And this year, coming into this game, it was 1 every 22 innings. So he has really avoided that big fly.
You know, the Giants are as bad as they've been overall offensively. One thing that has improved has been the home run hitting. They were miserable in that category last year. A big part of that is the park that they're in. But they have hit for some more power this year. Belt again fouls it off. He's been a big part of it. 5 home runs in his last 7 games and 6 total.
Hit home runs in 4 games in a row. Got really hot. Has been really deadly against the inside fastball. A very good low ball hitter.
Able to stay alive. Still 1-2. Comes in right in an 8-game hitting streak. Hitting .379 during that stretch. One of the outs that he made during the hitting streak, you probably have heard about it by now, but the longest at bat in the 30 years they've been tracking such things. Takes outside 2-2. 21 pitches against Anaheim last week. Ended in a line out to right after 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Seventh pitch of this one. Ryu gets him at the knees, 1 out.
Taking a fastball like that, he had to be looking something soft, because he's a very good low fastball hitter. And he just took third strike in his strength zone.
Yeah, the #1 hitter in baseball as far as slugging on low fastballs. Base is empty, 1 out. Here's Austin Jackson. The least celebrated of the 3 additions to this lineup for San Francisco, behind Longoria and McCutchen. But like both those guys, he's struggled. Hitting only .213.
All 3 of them under .223 or .232, which was the home run by Longoria, raised his average a little bit. That is not the production the Giants are looking for, and this is a tough place to up your production and your batting average. This is a pitcher's park.
Ryu to Jackson, 2-0, and it's fouled off for strike 1. Jackson's 31. This is his 9th year in the majors, and it's his 6th different team that he's played for. Former Tiger, Mariner, Cub, White Sox. He was with the Indians last year. One of his best offensive seasons. Earned himself a 2-year deal with the Giants. Trying to address very specific needs this offseason. They were the worst team in baseball at third. They went and got Longoria. They were the worst offensive team in baseball in the outfield. So they went and got McCutchen and Jackson.
They really haven't made many strides up that ladder yet, but they are hoping that the resumes come around.
Here comes a payoff in Jackson. It's a ground ball to third for Kyle Farmer. 2 out.
Good to see Ryu respond to the home run, come back with a strikeout of Belt, and now getting Jackson on a 3-2 ground ball to third. You always watch hitters' reaction to those kind of things that happen to you. Does he all of a sudden get scared of the strike zone?
Here's Crawford. 2 for his last 28.
How does that happen to Brandon Crawford? He's really fallen.
A couple of years ago, he led all shortstops in baseball in several offensive categories. Hit .275, was an all-star. Last year, offensive numbers down, but not to this degree. There's only one player in baseball, Oral, that is swinging and missing more than Crawford. And we actually just saw him Lewis Brinson of the Marlins, who is known as a free swinging guy who has trouble making contact. That's not the MO of Crawford. Doesn't miss this one. High drive, right field, and gone. Second solo shot of the inning for a previously slumping Giants hitter. 2-0.
Well, just the facts, and just the facts are that Longoria has struggled, Crawford has struggled. If you're on the Giants side, it's somebody's going to pay. If you're on the Dodgers side, let's leave them sleeping. But so far, a couple of off-speed pitches, a change-up to Longoria, and a up-breaking ball there to Crawford have helped the Giants and hurt the Dodgers and Ryu.
Crawford's second of the season. Gorkis Hernandez rips a ground ball to Farmer, who's got it. And that's the inning. But the Giants jump in front, kind of the way they've been doing things this year. Turning the page on last year, that is with the long ball. After 2-0.
His baseball skills to the test. Plus, Matt Kemp pays homage to Jackie Robinson. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, tonight after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Dodgers are playing from behind tonight after the 2 solo home runs from Longoria and Crawford in the second inning. Against Derek Holland, ready to face the order for the second time as Chris Taylor leads it off. 31 years of age, from Newark, Ohio. Decade in the majors for a guy who wasn't even the best pitcher on his high school staff. So as you can imagine, there wasn't a whole lot of college interest there. It's not like he's in a baseball hotbed. He grew up in Ohio. When he graduated, still without an offer on the table, his dad paid more than $1 grand for him to go to a showcase. Taylor hits a high fly ball to left center field, but Jackson has room for it. 1 out. So down he went to Arizona. And it's not like there were big time schools at this showcase, but some junior colleges. And one of them liked what he saw in Derek Holland from Wallace State Community College in Alabama. So he goes to the showcase, pitches well, flies back to Ohio, packs up his room, puts his bags in his boxes in his rusty Honda Accord. Had 200,000 miles on it at that point, by the way.
Wow.
Drove it down to Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. Spent a couple of years there. Strike one on Austin Barnes. And made himself into a draft pick of the Rangers. 1 ball and 1 strike. Even at that point, though, nobody ever really thought that this guy would be a major league pitcher, let alone 10 years in the bigs. He was drafted in the 25th round. Here he comes with the 1-1, and Barnes cues it foul.
Always been a little bit of an eccentric young man. Now a veteran in the big leagues, but still eccentric.
Can you be more eccentric the longer into your career you get? You got to be a little more normal when you first show up.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
Unless you're just so over the top. I've seen rookies that are a little eccentric. I mean, think of Kike Hernandez with his outgoing personality, but it's so fun-loving, and I think that's the way Derek Holland is, with his impersonations and all the different things that he's done.
Got his second K of the night, and 2 out in the 3rd.
First time around the order, it was all fastballs, not many off-speed pitches for strikes. He hadn't thrown a curveball for a strike all night, but now showing some command with the off-speed stuff.
Sometimes you say power against power. How about personality against personality here? Breaking ball for a strike. And the better you are, the more eccentric you can be, right?
As long as you're producing, yep, for sure. Well, and you're more relaxed too with your teammates. You're probably getting to the point where you're near the top of the heap as far as personalities in the clubhouse and production, so you loosen up. You go from class clown to a joy to be around.
Holland's 0-2. Down and in, ball 1. Kike's even talked about that it's hard to really be himself, to be the goofball that he is, and to say that as endearingly as I can, when he's not at his best. That's in, 2-2.
You know, in some ways, Kike could be whoever he wanted, and he overpowered the game for so many years. And then he has personality, and that's the one he's used to. And it's hard to all of a sudden change the way you go about your business on a daily basis. Most teams he's been on have probably been like, you know, I really appreciate Kike, which the Dodgers did. But you have to find a mental formula that makes you produce at every level. And he probably has never had a level where he couldn't just be his fun-loving self, but he has definitely calmed down in those ways this year.
Walked his first time. He's worked it full here with 2 out in the 3rd.
I'm sure it's nice for him to have people talking about his production and his sensational plays on defense, and that he's batting 3rd than wearing a banana outfit.
Roller to 3rd. Longoria. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers in the 3rd. Good response inning for Holland after his offense gets him a couple of runs to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 Giants, bottom 3, and Ryu pours in a strike to Derek Holland.
We've had gorgeous weather since we landed here last night, and maybe getting a little sprinkles tomorrow morning before we get into the split doubleheader.
Looks like it'll be a nice day though after that. 60 degrees, sun. For the first doubleheader between these teams in 15 years.
Wow. Full day of baseball. It's going to be a blast, especially if you can come from behind win.
1 ball, 2 strikes. A couple good pitching matchups tomorrow. You know, the Giants rotation has kind of had 2 halves to it. A really good one and then a really bad one. You get the really good portion all tomorrow. Chris Stratton goes in the early game. He's got a .232 earned run average, and then Johnny Cueto has a .035 ERA and pitches the nightcap. Dodgers go Walker Buehler, Alex Wood. 2-2, 1 out.
Dodger fans, time is running out to secure the 11-game mini plan featuring the remaining bobblehead giveaways purchased before May 9th versus Arizona, when the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Justin Turner bobblehead presented by State Farm. Visit Dodgers.com/mini-plans.
One away with Panic. Coming to the plate against Ryu. Strike 1. Grounded to first his first time up there. This time he grounds to second. Barnes throws him out. I just did a promo for the Justin Turner bobblehead there, and Alana has a Justin Turner injury update for us.
Yeah, guys, from Justin Turner himself, who posted a picture, a video on Instagram this morning about finally hitting off a tee. He said, hey, at Brad Paisley, I'm officially a T-baller now. It's time for some ice cream. Justin Turner using a fungo bat there to hit a baseball off a tee at Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. But that's a good sign as he makes some progress trying to get back onto the field. Dave Roberts said the next thing for JT is to have some live BP with the team, perhaps in Arizona when we go there on Sunday night into Monday for that 4-game set. He's hopeful, Dave Roberts says, that Justin Turner might be able to go out on a rehab assignment mid to end of next week.
McCutcheon takes a strike 0-2. Yeah, and it's, you know, so much of the coming back from an injury like that is the pain tolerance to be able to do what you saw on social media today, and that is actually take cuts. When you reach that point, it really tends to move quickly. 1 ball, 2 strikes, at least relatively speaking. Still got boxes to check off, but a great sign that he's swinging off a tee today.
That is a very good sign. One of the things you never practice, or at least rarely practice when you're rehabbing your swing, is the check swing. And that's the thing you got to watch out for.
Ryu with a very quick 3rd inning. 11 pitches. He puts bookend strikeouts on it. And we move to the middle innings.
As far as the schedule, brought to you by Nissan. The Dodgers 2 more games here. Well, actually 3 more games if you count the doubleheader. 1 and 7 tomorrow, and then a 4-game set with the Arizona Diamondbacks prior to heading to Monterrey, Mexico for 3 with the San Diego Padres. Dave Roberts knows these 2 teams aren't playing the way they want to, but it's always a big series.
It's a division foe, and we want to try to win a baseball game, and we've both been inconsistent this season, and I know for us that we just want to kind of get on track here, and it's always a fun series when we come up here and play the Giants, and we expect to play good baseball.
All right, middle part of the order against Derek Holland, who misses with the first pitch to Matt Kemp. Off we go in the 4th inning. Teams have split the first 6 games of this season series. Pretty typical of the Dodgers and the Giants. 2-0 on Kemp.
Dodgers looking to get the offense going. I'm thinking Dave Roberts' time there with Alana and the pregame sound. A lot of that inconsistency relates to a lot of different parts of this team. The offense, starting pitching at times, and the bullpen throwing strikes, being able to finish off games, getting Kenley Jansen on track.
A 3-0 to Kemp. The green light at him, 3-1.
But on the other side of the coin, you're very confident about this team too, and what they have done last year and in the past, each individual. Really observation mode to see if they can really turn it in the right direction and consistently produce.
Leadoff walk for Kemp. That's the 3rd one that Holland's issued. Here's Grandal. You know, the Dodgers, since moving to Los Angeles, have started 11-12, exactly 11-12, 5 times prior, and oddly gone to the postseason every year that they've started 11-12. Grandal smokes one to the gap in right center field, and that makes its way to the wall. Kemp's going to score easily. Grandal holds it second with a double. Dodgers on the board, and once again it's Grandal driving home a run. 19th of the season.
Roster structure is really important. Batting order construction, super important. And Dave Roberts has put 3 hot hitters in a row. Kike Hernandez, Matt Kemp, Yasmani Grandal. 2 of the 3 really come through. The walk, scare him back into the strike zone by taking the walk and then driving a ball in the gap. Cut the lead in half.
Kemp gasping for air. Dave Roberts and Turner Ward. Hope that's all.
Lots of pounds off that body, but it still takes some energy to get around the bases.
Cody Bellinger watches a breaking ball miss outside. StatCast has Matt Kemp, by the way, as the most improved sprinter in baseball from last year to this year. The guy's gained more speed than anybody. Bellinger takes ball 2.
And not only can you look at the speed, but I really think because of that, he's in better shape and he's able to make some moves like he did when he was younger in the batter's box.
Holland's 2-0. That's ball 3 on Bellinger.
Take a look at the stride here. I wonder if this is fatigue or is he struggling with something.
Well, he was gasping for air, but it also looked like he was pointing down to his lower half, and he's now standing next to the trainer, Nate Lucero. 4-pitch walk to Bellinger. It's a season-high 4 walks issued by Holland. And the look on his face kind of says, really?
Yeah, it does. They're going to ask him to go down in the training room. Looks like he's looking down at his left shoe or toe.
Really, injuries, unfortunately, such a huge part of Matt Kemp's story. One of the great young players in the game before he started dealing with them. Hamstring issues, shoulder surgery after that collision with the wall at Coors Field early on in his career. First pitch to Puig. He pulls one inside the bag down into the bullpen. Grandal's in to score to tie it. And then they call fan interference, and it'll be up to the umpires to place the runners. This game's tied at 2 at least. Let's see if they put Bellinger back at third or score him. They're going to put Bellinger at third and give Puig an RBI double. Dave Roberts going to say, hey, I think Bellinger was scoring.
It's one of the fastest guys on the field, Cody Bellinger is. Chris Woodward's arm was cranking. This will be an interesting conversation between the 4 umpires. But before that conversation has a conclusion, wasn't that a nice swing from Yasiel Puig in a key moment? First and second, no out. Nice for him to get some results as we wait for the results from this meeting.
Calling Dave Roberts back, which usually is not a good sign. Explanation usually goes to the guy that's going to be upset about the decision.
Looks like they're going to take a look under the hood, get on the headsets, let New York decide. They might try and determine when the interference came and where was Bellinger.
Kind of a hard one, I think, to overturn, don't you?
Well, look where their defender is. Look where the interference is. I mean, there's no defender in view. So,
but neither is Bellinger at that point. That's Grandal you see headed for the plate there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Oral. Here for you.
Good. Let's take a look at it again, since I didn't see it the first time.
Little rusty after those few days off on the replay watch.
I didn't see it on the third time.
I think we have time, so.
Okay. So we got, yep, that's just there. Not gonna have, I'll tell you what though. We're in San Francisco. I think the Dodgers should get the call.
Doesn't usually work that way, does it?
No.
No. Here's the verdict. They're going to put him at second and third. Good thing is there's still nobody out. Be a bigger deal if there were 2 out. But the Dodgers have tied it. All 3 hits in this game, by the way, have come on the first pitch. Dodgers are the most successful team in baseball when they do swing at the first pitch. Farmer's part of that with his single in the second on the first pitch against Holland. Here's a pickoff throw to second. Puig just barely in there safely.
Something that Derek Holland is very good at. And with all the delay, thinking maybe Yasiel 1/2 a step more, doesn't make it back, but he did.
This guy's going to get kicked out. It's a bummer.
The seats are not being improved.
No. See if Farmer can give the Dodgers the lead now. Takes a breaking ball low.
Major League Baseball in New York has the technology to sync up all the different feeds. No broadcast in baseball has that ability, but they can take all the feeds and sync them up and take a look at a replay or a combination of replays where they're all on the same time frame and make that call.
Remember, we had a look at Dodger Stadium a few weeks ago overturning a home run. They ruled the guy that hit the home run had passed a runner at first. They used a camera that we didn't even know existed, way up at the very top of Dodger Stadium. First time they'd used that to overturn a call. Inside on Farmer, ball 2. Two and two.
Really narrow your focus right here if you're Kyle Farmer. 2 strikes. Don't want to give away an out without moving the runners up 90 feet.
Especially with a pitcher on deck. Holland hunting a strikeout. 2-2. Just misses in. Full count. Well, he sure has tried to live in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's lived inside there to Puig, and he stepped on one on the inside. Farmer here can't be as aggressive with Ryu on deck, and 2 strikes.
So now payoff, and Farmer rolls it foul. Two doubles, 2 walks in this inning against Holland. Giants got their 2 runs on solo homers in the second. Longoria and Crawford. Farmer strikes out on a high fastball.
They decide to pick on Kyle Farmer, then hopefully for them get Ryu and then get Chris Taylor to get out of this. Don't pitch around the 8th hitter to get to the pitcher. You want to try and get that out, and they did.
A lot of the Dodgers consoling Kemp. And Jock Peterson, it appears, getting ready to come into the game. Ryu trying to put it in play here with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out, and he takes low, ball 1.
I'm saying either walks or drive somebody in.
All right.
Maybe 2 with the infield in.
Two and 0 to the man that they call the Korean Monster. Got that nickname as a rookie in Korea, the KBO, when he won the pitching triple crown. Led the league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. Shows bunt, takes strike 1. And it kind of has a new meaning now back home, where he is a superstar in South Korea. The new meaning is he's a monster for overcoming the injuries that he has to put together this season that he's having so far. On a 2-1 from Holland. Cuts and misses. 2-2.
I was feeling good at 2-0. My prediction hanging in the balance now with the 2-2 count.
Stays alive, and they got a piece of Posey.
Back to the high fastball that got called a ball in the 2nd pitch. Piece of the bat, piece of Buster.
Infield still in for the Giants. Holland deals 2-2. Ryu fouls it off and stays alive again. Holland was very efficient over the first few innings, but this will be the 25th pitch of this 4th coming here. It's another 2-2. pitch. Low and inside, and the count is full. After Ryu, it's Taylor.
You got to hunt something right down the middle if you're Ryu, and if it's anywhere near the edge, you're probably thinking about taking. There's no way Holland wants to throw anything but something near the middle.
Ryu fouls another. It's fouled off 3. Next pitch will be the 9th of the at bat. With a tying run at 3rd and 1 out here in the 4th.
Even if he gets him out and the runners hold, I would think this could be his last hitter.
Ryu hits one inside the bag. 2 runs will score. Ryu's headed for second. He's got a double. The Korean monster delivers. And so does Oral Damas.
A little bit of strategy in my head and a lot of luck. I just didn't see the command of the off-speed pitches. Living with the fastball, Ryu can hit a fastball. He ends up having to hit a cutter or a little slider that stays up. But none of the off-speed stuff was real sharp. And he had struggled and thrown so many pitches that you got to believe the stuff is flat. And Ryu made him pay.
Into second with a smile on his face. Not a whole lot Hyun-Jin doesn't do with a smile on his face. Including chase Derek Holland from the game by doubling on the 9th pitch of the at-bat to give the Dodgers their first lead of the night. Bullpen will face the top of the order. Still just 1 out. Back in a moment. Jumping on him for at least 4 here in the 4th. The man at second, his responsibility. And Pierce Johnson replaces him as Chris Taylor stands in with Ryu at second. And takes the first pitch on the corner for a strike. Who's in, who's out? Brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. Pierce Johnson has had a nice start to his first season in San Francisco. 10th appearance right here. Those RBIs for Ryu, by the way, his first in 4 years. And you called it.
He mashed it. He's the monster mash.
Did you spend the break on that one?
Not at all.
No,
I was actually holding back on the replay, not using that.
Monster mash?
And I couldn't, yeah.
Yeah. 0-2. 2 out.
Here's Johnson. He's extra tough here on Chris Taylor this year with men on base. Hitters are now 3 for 18, so he can really bear down.
2-out chance for Barnes. Second career start for Austin Barnes in the 2 spot in the order. Hit there once last year. That was his most frequent spot at Arizona State, though. Coming up in the minors all over the place, included some time as a leadoff hitter. Makes sense, though. He's a high on base guy. You know, even right now with the average only at 242 coming into the game, if Barnes had enough plate appearances to qualify, he'd be top 10 in the league in on base percentage. And Austin says that's always kind of been his thing. If you're not feeling great swinging it, find a way to get on. 2-0. Lays off for ball 3.
He's getting real close. His batting practice today was loud, and I mean the sounds when hitters get in and out of the cage and you listen to the ball come off of one guy's bat and you listen to the next, and his had a very good sound consistently when he was in the cage.
Four-pitch walk, and the Dodgers have batted around here in the 4th. Now, if you ask the Dodger hitters and the coaches for a standout game so far this year, a lot of them go to the Sunday against Zach Godley, where they drew all those walks, passed the baton, had a very linked approach throughout the lineup. And this one's starting to have that kind of a feel to it. They've got 5 walks over the first 3+ innings. Hernandez 0 for 1. He has one of those walks. Here he hits one off of the handle softly to Crawford at short, and Gold Glover throws him out. But the Dodgers get 4 with some patience and some doubles. 3 walks, 3 doubles in the inning. First it was Grandal to get him on the board. Then Puig drove in a run, snapping an 0 for 12 to tie it. Hyun-Jin Ryu, 2-run double on a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the 4th. In left field, 4-2 lead for the Dodgers to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome inside, Joe and Oral. And this rally for the Dodgers, they're punctuated by Ryu's 2-run double.
Yeah, he's given up a couple of solo shots, but he's driven in 2, so all even for him. And then the Dodgers with 2 more, so 4-2 feels a lot better than down 2-0.
As the Dodgers try to get back to 500, try to get their 8th win out of their last 11. and open up this season-long road trip on a nice note. Ryu's first pitch to Buster Posey misses up and away, ball one. Posey hits a high fly ball to center. It's going to stay in the yard for Chris Taylor. All the runs that Ryu's given up this year have come in the first 4 innings. Gave up the 2 runs in this one and the second on home runs from Longoria and Crawford. But really, regardless of the time of the game, this has been one of the best pitchers in the National League this year.
He has been outstanding. He's definitely the ace of the staff right now, and that's not something you predicted coming out of spring training. Clayton Kershaw has pitched very well, but he just not gotten much run support and had a rough outing on his own. Ryu, after the first start, has been consistent.
One ball and 1 strike. You know, Longoria, we talk about his struggles this season. A lot of it has been against off-speed stuff. He rolls one to short. Kike Hernandez gobbles it up and throws him out 2 away. First time around, out of the 7 pitches Ryu threw him, 6 of them were off-speed. Perhaps was waiting, understanding that that's becoming the book, and he hit the home run on a changeup. A cat and mouse game, back and forth between those two.
Command on the off-speed stuff has not been good for Ryu yet tonight. The fastball has been the pitch that has gotten him some outs. And it looks like the one he has the best command of.
Just misses with a breaking ball to Belt.
That's a perfect example right there. That first pitch curveball, which he's attempted here tonight, really a given for him so far this year of just landing it for a strike, but so far has struggled with it.
It's a fastball by Belt, 1-1. Another fastball and another strike.
Trying to finish off a shutdown inning. You get the 4 spot. You were part of it. You're feeling good when you take the mound. Feel even better. You get back in there with 3 outs and no runs.
Belt lays off a high fastball here, and it's 2-2.
It will feel like momentum if he can get this last out. Contributing on the offense and the defense.
Went to a change, and Belt took it low, full count. Jackson due next. And a 4-2 game in the 4th. 31-year-old Hyun-Jin Ryu pitches the payoff. Hard ground ball, but they have him shifted. He pulls it on the ground as often as anybody. And was one of the most heavily shifted against players in baseball the last couple of years. An 11-pitch inning for Ryu, and after 4, it's 4-2. Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota's Thrill to Drive sales event is going on now. Check out amazing deals on a stylish new Corolla. Dodgers trying to beat the Giants tonight like Fernando Valenzuela did on this date in his rookie season in 1981, getting his 4th shutout over his first 5 starts. 5-0 win at Dodger Stadium. Jock Peterson leading off the 5th. First at bat of the night for him, with Matt Kemp leaving the game with what looks like some kind of lower body ailment after scoring from first on a Grandal double. This road trip's going to finish, as we've talked about, with a trip to Mexico. Peterson cracks his bat on a flare to center. Jackson won't get there. Peterson's got a bloop base hit to open the 5th. Fernando's headed down there to Mexico, and he is going to get some kind of hero's welcome when the Dodgers show up in Monterey.
Well deserved for sure, but he really changed Dodger baseball in 1981. Increasing the fan base, dazzling the fans, and all of Major League Baseball, really. His starts drew a good 10,000 people more than historically when a starter would start, and he drew crowds all around the whole nation.
Here's Grandal. Started the scoring for the Dodgers with an RBI double his last time, and takes ball 1 from Pierce Johnson. High strike, 1-1. That 1981 season we were talking about with Fernando when he was only 20 years old. It didn't stop on this date. First 8 starts he went 8-0. 5 shutouts. Went 9 innings in all 8 games. It's foul, 1-2.
I was in San Antonio, Texas. I was Fernando's teammate, and I used to help him get to and from the park, get some food, get whatever supplies he needed at his apartment. When he got to the big leagues off of our team, our manager was Ducky LeJohn. On the nights when Fernando would pitch, they hardwired a small TV into the corner of our dugout in Double-A, and we got to watch Fernando pitch. Wow. Ducky was so interested to watch him. I'm not sure he wrote that in his game reports back to the front office, but it was a really fun year to see a teammate go up and do so well, and brought so much confidence to everybody on the team that they could be a big leaguer someday. Nobody really broke in and did what Fernando did, but it did give us a lot of confidence.
Signed by the legendary Mike Brito.
Mike is a fabulous baseball man and a great human being. Fun to be around still to this day. He and Fernando and I are always joking about something. Usually the fact that Mike said, you know, Fernando threw a little harder than you, but you had really good movement. I'm like, come on. It's amazing. At Double-A, I was throwing harder than him, and he gets to the big leagues and we're on the same team and he's throwing harder than me. What's going on, Mike? No, 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 Earl, you had movement. We just kid back and forth.
Full count on Grandal. Now, Mike was a minor league catcher, and when his playing career finished, he continued to play in Los Angeles in adult leagues after he'd become a scout. One weekend at a game in East LA, he was so impressed by a 3-2 screwball that struck him out. Soon after, he got the Dodgers to sign the guy that threw it. That guy was Bobby Castillo. Okay, and then a couple years later, Brito signs Fernando Valenzuela, struggles in A-ball. This is 1979. Brito had Castillo teach Fernando that screwball that struck him out in an East LA adult league years back. And credit to Fernando, because he said within a week he had the thing mastered. And it's what he was known for early on. Here's a payoff to Grandal. Off of the hands, past a diving Belt, picked up by Panic, who goes to first for the first out. Mike said that he fooled him so badly on that screwball on that day in the East LA Adult League that he almost hurt his back trying to swing at it. Nothing like he'd ever seen. So as soon as he had the power, he made Bobby Castillo a Dodger, and Bobby Castillo's place in Dodger history is an important one because of what he passed on to Fernando Valenzuela. One gone here in the fifth. Here's Cody Bellinger.
When I joined the Dodgers in 1979, you just knew right away that was so much part of the culture. From a Bobby Castillo teaching Fernando something to Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale and Larry Sherry and Ron Peronowski, all the pitching greats of the Dodgers still around.
Bellinger digs out a breaking ball and sends a skyscraper to Jackson. Thing hangs in the air forever. Peterson will take third, 2 out. Yasiel Puig snapped an 0 for 12 with an RBI double his last time. Takes ball one.
The fastball in is a scouting report on Yasiel Puig, not just Derek Holland against Yasiel Puig. Holland tried to pound him inside, and I was interested to see now with a right-hander on the mound, where do they go, where do they attack, and right away, fastball in. Yasiel on the second at bat to Holland, sat on that pitch.
That's the other spot teams go. He takes that one, 2-0.
Two extremes, a fastball in that's running in on your hands, and then a slider usually away, sometimes a curveball that's going away from your bat path.
Lays off the inside fastball, and the better the take, the better the dance that follows it.
Now we talk about tunnels, you know, for hitters, like where are you looking, inside, outside? For Yasiel, understanding that tailing action of the fastball, it's got to look more away. Because if it starts in the inside and he's looking in, and then that ball tails a good 6-8 inches, that's going to be on his fisticuffs. So really his tunnel, if he's thinking, is more like middle of the plate. That ball ends up in, away ends up down the middle.
See if he gets one to drive on 3-1. He did, but missed it. 3-2.
That was the cookie. That one almost deserved a dance.
Instead, I got a bat lick.
That was it. Outer half, down the middle, very little tail. He's hoping that's an appetizer for another hit.
Now payoff. Fouls it back. Yasiel just got a fresh haircut. Really nice design in the side of his head. And he said, oh yeah, the barber will do it on anybody. So he'd even do it on you. And I asked him, do you think he could do Puig's face on the side of my head? And Yasiel said, no, he'd do my tongue.
That's right, I was there. That's a true story.
Runner at third, 2 out, another 3-2, and he fouls it again.
We could raise a lot of money for charity if you said you would take Yasiel's tongue and cut it into your hair. I hope your Twitter account just lights up tonight with ideas.
To be clear, a design of Yasiel's tongue on the side of my head.
Exactly.
Yes. 8th pitch coming up here. It's another payoff. Puig pops it up. Panic settles under it and ends the inning. We are halfway home in San Francisco with the Dodgers in front of the Giants 4-2.
Rival Arizona Diamondbacks Thursday afternoon at 12:30. That'll be on MLB Facebook. Watch the game there. Follow MLB Live on Facebook. That's how you're going to catch it. Exclusive national game broadcasts all season long there on Facebook.
Ball one on Austin Jackson. He'll be on the call of that.
With Alana also.
Jinryu pitches a 1-0 and Jackson takes ball 2.
Interesting thing about that broadcast is that we're on the air the whole game. There's no breaks. So there's some good conversations, I guess, when we're not going to commercial. I've never done a broadcast, but I'm going to learn about it in the next few days.
And hopefully a very, very close bathroom.
That's what I was thinking. We have to kind of alternate who maybe talks in between innings.
On a 2-1. Framed on the corner, 2-2. So who are you doing it with? You, Alana?
I think Eric Burns.
I'm
not sure.
And Rich Waltz, I believe.
Rich Waltz, yep.
Former Marlins TV voice. The 2-2. A curve lands for strike 3.
A curveball that we've gotten used to seeing here on Carl's cam, but not tonight. But if he gets that one on track, the rest of these innings will be a little bit easier. You have to remember that Ryu has not thrown a pitch from the stretch tonight. Those are the 2 runs came on solo shots.
And he's been a lot better this year out of the windup than he has the stretch. Not been bad from either, but better out of the line. Brandon Crawford homered his first time up, takes ball 1 outside. Since that home run, which came in the second, Ryu's retired 9 straight. Or 8 straight, beg your pardon. On the corner, 1-1.
Not many people do what Ryu does over the rubber, the way he tilts his front shoulder. Everybody usually loads dropping their back shoulder, but he tilts the front shoulder down and then reloads. So he has a little extra move in his delivery. Front shoulder down, then back up. A little bit like Dennis Martinez of old, a little bit like Roger Clemens. Most people, when they're over the rubber at the top of their leg kick, their back shoulders going equal and opposite to the mound. Ryu takes the front shoulder and matches his shoulders to the mound, but then regroups and develops a little bit more power. It's kind of his trigger, one of his personal triggers of where he gets his rhythm. Not something you would recommend at home if you were going to start a delivery, but it's something that he has perfected.
Here he comes with a 2-2. Crawford takes it low, full count. Dorcas Hernandez due next. You only had 68 pitches with one away here in the 5th. The left-hander to Crawford with a 3-2. He strikes him out with a changeup. Number 5 for Hyun-Jin, and 2 gone in the 5th.
It is the first changeup from Ryu that has been swung at and missed. Usually 1 out of 4 gets swung out and missed, but he has not had that location and that movement. But you know what? We've seen a better curveball this inning, and now we've seen a good changeup.
Strike 1 on Dorcas Hernandez, and we check in with Alana.
Been told by the Dodgers medical staff that Matt Kemp was removed from the ball game after rounding the bases on that double from Yasmani Grandal with left quad tightness. Again, Matt Kemp has left quad tightness.
All right, Alana. Here's a bunt to third, and Farmer has no play. Hernandez, first base runner for the Giants since the 2nd, with a 2-out bunt single. So quad tightness for Kemp, replaced by Jock Peterson. Austin Slater, pinch hitting, just called up today. Here comes a scouting report from Rick Honeycutt. Interpreter Brian Lee alongside.
Hyun-Jin Ryu is one of those that really would want Rick to come out of the dugout and review this. He's a big-time studier. And you can see that's pretty detailed from Rick Honeycutt. That's not just basic instructing like, hey, bad breaking ball hitter, you can get him with a fastball in. That looked like multiple things they were talking about as far as maybe first pitch, if you're ahead in the count, if you're behind in the count. And here's a couple of good finish pitches if you've gone that way.
You touched on it, but yeah, he is very well studied, prepares very hard, studies each hitter he'll face in the lineup each night. You get strike 1 and a changeup. Slater had a huge game in AAA last night. It's in Sacramento. It's only 2 hours away, and so it's easy for them to make a late call and get a guy over here. He found out this morning that the Giants needed him tonight. Now a curve, and it's 0-2. Stumbles in the follow through there,
but felt fine. Just lost his footing. You saw the way he hopped back up. He wasn't taking inventory of any body parts like something hurt. He just, looked like he tweaked his ankle a little bit or just missed the hole. That'll do that to you right there. He's gone changeup, curveball, changeup. Youngster coming from the minors, a lot of adrenaline. Probably been hitting the fastball really good in AAA, but I'm not going to give in with a heater unless he probably goes up the ladder with it.
Got him with an off speed. Stick him with a changeup. Best we've seen it tonight here in the 5th. He gets 3 strikeouts around the bunt single. 4-2 to the 6th inning. 4-2 lead in this game thanks to Hunj and Ryu's 2-run double.
A long at bat, saw a lot of pitches, a tiring starter, but the other starter got him. Oh, he wants my jacket. Give me my jacket.
He's due up second in this inning against a new San Francisco pitcher. It's Corey Guerin. On to face Kyle Farmer. Spins one in there for a strike.
Guerin on a day off. Threw 17 pitches a day ago, so he's not too bad. He'll come at you with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, slider, and a changeup. Dodgers have seen him. Come down to execution.
Got off to a good start this year. First 5 appearances, hadn't given up a run, but in his last 5 appearances, an ERA of 15. For the bearded righty out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. A ball and 2 strikes on Farmer. That backs up, evens the count.
A little bit of production from third base tonight, but the Dodgers definitely missing Justin Turner, his leadership in the locker room, and especially his bat and his glove. Nice to see Farmer get a hit tonight, but Milano gave the report on Justin, showing the tweet of his swing, or was that on Instagram?
Probably both.
A little both.
Yeah.
And it was in slow motion, so don't worry about the bat speed. But it's just nice to see him swinging the bat. We get to Arizona, we'll get to see him.
Kyle Farmer starting the 6th. Watching a tailing fastball wrap around the plate, full count after it fallen behind 0-2. Slash to right center field. That's down. A base hit. Second of the night for Farmer. Holds on with the leadoff single. It had been 10 days since he'd gotten his last hit. He's got 2 of them in the opener against San Francisco.
Kyle is always prepared. Very low-key approach. Highly competitive, but you won't always see it on his face or in his mannerisms. But boy, does he lock in no matter how often you play him.
They're going to ask the slugging Babe Ryu to bunt. Strike 1.
I'm so glad that we know about his nickname now. Monster. I wonder if the teammates know that. Never heard him say that.
What, I mean, you go around telling people you're the Bulldog?
No. I've never, not that he would, but I haven't heard anybody like during stretching or what they're out there playing catch. Hey, Monster, throw me a ball, or hey.
That is a foul ball. No?
No, they were. I think they were talking about the signal. The safe signal from Adrian Johnson behind the plate was about interference from Ryu, but
so successful bunt.
Yep.
Farmer to second. It's also the Monster nickname is great because personality-wise, demeanor-wise, he couldn't be any less monster-like.
Exactly, with all the smiles. But he is proceeding to first base, and he's creating his own baseline. I think this contact is just incidental.
Well, brings up Taylor with a man in scoring position, and he takes ball 1 outside. Chris had a 7-game hitting streak going before an 0 for 5 in the final game against Miami, and 0 for 3 so far tonight. Pokes one to first that Belt takes to the back. All the production for the Dodgers in this game have come from the bottom part of the order.
The Dodgers and the roster is very used to Dave Roberts toggling the lineup here and there and moving pieces depending on the matchups. With the offense struggling, you've seen a lot of configurations. And so sometimes the guys near the bottom of the order might be guys that you have counted on before, but are just kind of a little colder than the guys that they've put at the top and the middle of the order. But they start to come around. Kind of like the Longoria home run and the Crawford home run. Cold guys are not going to stay cold forever.
Farmer at third with 2 out. Austin Barnes takes first pitch inside, ball 1. And part of it is the trickle down from not having Turner, right? The core piece of that order in the 3 spot. Everything usually built around that.
For sure. And Cody Bellinger struggles on the homestand. Going to move that around, and with Kike and Kemp. Grandal swinging hot bats, trying to make sure that, you might think, who am I going to want up there in the 9th inning when that last at bat could happen for the 2-hole, the 3-hole, the 4-hole? Who do I want there compared to somebody else right now?
2-1 on Barnes.
Every slot in the batting order as you move somebody down is about 20 plate appearances at the end of the year if they stayed in that slot the whole way. Well, managers make that determination on a daily basis. It's a little bit more of a fractional decision, but it's a big decision for the day.
We'll plot those lineups out days in advance. He kind of officially puts it together the night before each game so he can let the players know when they're off and when they're in there. Missed his spot but found the zone 2-2.
And players appreciate that. It's not so, hey, you can go out that night and not worry about getting your sleep. Players appreciate that because they have different regimens they go through if they're starting compared to they're not starting. They like to know as far as their cardio, as far as their weightlifting, when they want to get their lift in. I can get it in before the game. I'm not starting because I probably won't be in there till the 5th inning. Or I'll get my lift in after the game if I'm starting because I don't want to be tired for the game. And so, especially with this long road trip, a doubleheader, no off days, Dave really wants to plot it out here and be really good at communicating with the players.
Full count on Barnes. Guerin delivers. Barnes takes ball 4. His second walk of the night keeps the inning alive for Kike Hernandez.
This is the Dodger formula for offense. They are hitting as a unit. They are making them throw strikes. They're capitalizing on runners in scoring position, even if it's Ryu doing some of the damage. But this reminds me a lot of an offense that functions very, very well and consistently.
3 of their 5 hits tonight are doubles. 3 of their 6 hits tonight, doubles. And they've got 6 walks. 2 on, 2 out.
So hard for the everyday players that are trying to get off of a bad start to be patient and take walks. But as a team, if you can do it, if you don't look up at the scoreboard and there's only one guy hitting over 300 in the lineup, that's Grandal. Everybody else is below 300 and a lot of them below 250.
Runner takes off, no throw. Barnes got a great jump on Guerin. Giants relievers give up a lot of stolen bases. Barnes had a great read on the first move there. This turns into a big spot here. Dodgers with a 4-2 lead. A chance to double that lead with a 2-out hit from Hernandez. Now they did 2. Takes his slider, ball one. Guerin to Hernandez with a 1-2 pitch. Struck him out with a fastball. Dodgers leave him at second and third. To the bottom of the sixth we go in a 4-2 game. Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Koufax, Mays, Drysdale, the stars of stars in the early years on the West Coast for these two franchises. Back here in San Francisco, where the Dodgers lead the Giants 4-2 to the bottom of the sixth. And Hyun-Jin Ryu goes back to the mound, having given up just 2 solo home runs tonight. Top of the order, Joe Panik watches strike one and a curve that's gotten better as this game has gone on.
It sure has. The Giants have only swung at 2 first pitches. Is starting the 3rd time through the order. And Ryu is very good at feeling that and trying to figure it out where he can steal a strike and break on top.
Generous outside corner there for strike 2. Yeah, Ryu has one of the highest take percentages against on the first pitch of any pitcher in baseball. Panik lays off, 2-2. Like we said, very detailed in his preparation. Understanding what each hitter likes, what each hitter doesn't like you did when you were a pitcher, understanding who does what, especially on that first pitch. Panik chops one to third. Farmer's got it.
There's portions of the game as a pitcher that you really concentrate on that first pitch strike, but then after that, if you get known for throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, you want to know which guys are attacking the first pitch and the first pitch strike. So you maybe make a little higher quality pitch or maybe choose something a little bit more off speed. In my day, it was more the eye test. Now they've got all the data and all the video. And so they can be a lot more confident with what they know as their personal scouting report.
He gets strike one on McCutchen. Now McCutchen had that 6-hit game against the Dodgers first time they came here. Finished it with a walk-off home run. He's hitting below 170 since and has just one other multi-hit game.
That day, his teammates are saying, have a day, way to go. He didn't want that to be the have a season, but it was just a day.
For a long-time Pirate. Five-time All-Star. Take strike two. Second player since 1900 to have a 6-hit game ending in a walk-off home run. The only other guy to do it, Jim Northrup of the Tigers in 1969. Dodgers have the Silver Fox, Chase Utley. Jim Northrup was the Gray Fox. Josh Fields down to the pen. McCutchen down on strikes.
Tigers won the World Series in '68, and then in '69, the Major League Baseball lowered the mound. So there was looking for an uptick in offense. The year before, you had Drysdale's streak, you had Gibson's ERA, which he had 2 long scoreless streaks. You had Denny McLain winning 31 games in the regular season. Baseball was looking for a little offense, and they lowered the mound.
2 up, 2 down. And now Posey, who is 0 for 2 so far, takes an off-speed pitch low.
I know that year real well, '68, because I was 10 years old when we lived in the Detroit area. Ray Lane and Ernie Harwell were the broadcasters for the Tigers.
Old Dodger announcer.
Yeah, and there was a record album that year after the '68 season that was put out called The Year of the Tigers, and I used to play that thing to put me to sleep as I was 11 the next year.
You were, after being 10 the year before.
Yeah, but you know, as an 11-year-old, I could understand, and I could actually work a record player. Do you know what a record player is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. They're back now.
That's right. They
They're
are.
gonna come back.
Not in my house. I'm just catching up. I just got an iPod.
Nice, man. Good job. 2-0. Top foul, 2-1. One of those big, thick ones.
Yeah.
Where you can like change the songs.
Click, click, click,
yeah.
click, click, click. You can turn the sound off on the clicker.
Right.
It's amazing how technology has flown by. It's ridiculous.
On a 2-1 pitch, Posey rounds one off of Ryu, ricochets to Barnes, bare hand pickup, throws late. So the Giants with a 2-out base runner on an infield single for Posey.
It looked like it hit Ryu in a meaty spot. Austin Barnes gave it his best effort. He's got to come out and check on him anyway. It's like the left thigh or hip or glute. And Cody gave up on the play not to keep his foot on the base because who knows where the throw's going, and he figures the runner's going to beat it, so he gets in a fielding stance. That'll leave a mark, but I don't think it'll get him out of the game.
He sends Nate Lucero and interpreter Brian back to the dugout after a quick visit. Oh no, they are going to make the change.
Wow.
After the trainer had left, Dave Roberts was out there as well, and he's going to use this as an opportunity to bring on Josh Fields with a tying run coming to the plate in the form of Evan Longoria. 4-2 game in the 6th. Back in a moment.
close out the Red Series. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Mother's Day cosmetic bag, compliments of Cedars Sinai. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Josh Fields replaces Hyun-Jin Ryu. 5 2/3, giving up the 2 runs. Man at first, his responsibility as Longoria hits a high drive on the first pitch to left center, and Peterson's going to catch it. Oh. Hyun-Jin Ryu breathes a sigh of relief. Longoria jumps on the first one that he sees against Fields and just misses. Arco, all feature Hyun-Jin Ryu, who strikes out 8 and has the go-ahead 2-run double.
He's contributed on both sides of the ball, and this was a long count, just trying to make contact, and he delivered. Dodger offense has been functioning very well, setting the table. Ryu did a good job clearing it.
And man, oh man, that first swing against the bullpen. Speaking of bullpen, Sam Dyson has had a good year, really, with the exception of one outing. He gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. To face Peterson, Grandal, and Bellinger. Jock takes strike 1. Peterson on for Matt Kemp. Alana telling us Kemp leaving the game with quad tightness. Peterson hit a bloop single his first time up. We go back to that Longoria drive against Fields.
It looks like an up breaking ball, really right down the middle. This ballpark here has held a lot of long fly balls, and you could hold your breath on that one, but the ballpark held it.
Longoria saying, man, that thing's in the 10th row at the Trop. Peterson takes low, ball 1. Tony Cingrani. 7th inning in a 4-2 game. Both teams getting all their runs in 1 inning. Home runs from Longoria and Crawford in the 2nd. The Dodgers with a 4th spot in the 4th. Dyson to Peterson with a 1-2, and he fouled it off to stay alive. 2-2.
Jock got a gift hit in his first at bat, looking to earn one right here. He blooped the ball into center. He has hit in some bad luck this year, so that might have made up for some of the line drives that were caught.
Lays off this one. The count goes full.
Jock doing a good job right here. He likes the low pitch, but he has the good range with his vision right now, understanding the low pitch he wants to attack compared to the one that's going to be down around his shins and take it for a ball.
Leading off the 7th for the Dodgers. Peterson asks for time, as you often see him do. Full count.
That can infuriate a pitcher, but you can do nothing about it when it's a 3-2 count.
Now the payoff. Peterson takes ball 4. After falling behind in the count, he works back and starts the 7th with a walk. That is 7 walks for the Dodger offense tonight. And it brings up Grandal.
Tyson better be careful. He's going to live downstairs. Yasmani will golf it out of here. He can hit the ball down by his toes and elevate it.
Top 10 in the National League in batting average and on base percentage and RBIs. He's got another one tonight. 19 total for him. That's in for a strike. Peterson at first, nobody out in the 7th. And Yasmani Grandal on an 0-1 pitch. Cuts and misses, strike 2. Born in Cuba, moved to the United States when he was 10. His family won a lottery that allowed them to immigrate to the United States legally. Checks his swing, takes ball 1. His mom, who he's very close with, her name's Maria, but she entered the family in this lottery, and it was a long shot that they'd get selected. Only a few families did, but her whole thought was it's worth trying if it meant getting Yasmani better opportunities. So Yasmani and his mom, his stepdad, his grandparents, they all got permission. Moved to Miami. Yasmani became a U.S. citizen when he was a junior in high school. Peterson aboard on a walk to start the inning, and now Dyson home with a 1-2. Nice job to protect.
Fighting off pitchers' pitches. Jock Peterson did a nice job in not chasing any put-away pitches, earned the walk. Now Yasmani giving him a little different battle.
There goes Peterson on a ball outside, throw down, they got it. That's the first base runner that Buster Posey's thrown out this season, and it's the first out of the 7th.
Big leg kicks coming out of the San Francisco Giant bullpen. Good jumps are available. Looked like Jock got a good jump there, but kind of broke his stride down at the end a little bit. Tried to get to the outside part of the bag to make it harder to tag him.
Two. High fly ball to deep right center field. Way back towards the wall. McCutcheon has room. And that triples alley out there. A lot of ballparks that thing's gone, but here it's out number 2.
AT&T Park is holding a lot of long balls tonight. This is a very good swing. Longoria's watching this saying, watch, this is going to stay in there. It did the same thing with my ball. Heavy sea air, cold temperatures, and sometimes even a wind blowing in. And 421 out there.
Two gone for Bellinger. He takes ball 1. Dribbled foul. We're talking about Mac Williamson, who's been red hot since getting called up by the Giants. He hit a home run just to the left of this area by the Sports Bay Area sign over there. And he's a right-handed hitter the other night. Part of the park where rarely does any hitter go, let alone a right-handed hitter to the opposite field. Bellinger swings through it 1-2. The Dodgers catching a break, not having Williamson in the lineup against him tonight. First 5 games, he's got 3 home runs. And again, if you didn't hear earlier, stumbled over the bullpen mound making a play on Tuesday and is in concussion protocol now. Two and two on Bellinger.
Dodger announcers Kuiper and Kruko, you know, friends of ours, they said they were really disappointed we weren't going to get to see him. They said he's special to watch.
Revamped his swing in the offseason using Justin Turner as his model. Went to the same hitting coach, same swing coach that Turner worked with a few years back. And their swings right now, you can tell they went to the same guy, and that Williamson was using Turner as his inspiration. They look a lot alike. That big leg kick, bat in the zone for so long.
I look forward to having Justin back and having him hit it over that 421 sign out there. The great thing about Justin's swing for me is just he sees the ball so long. He has such great timing, and it's that smooth power. It's not that violent power. He uses the lever system so well.
Another 2-2. Bellinger chops one to the right side where Panic will pick it up and throw Bellinger out. Scoreless 7 for Sam Dyson. We stretch in San Francisco with the Dodgers in front 4-2.
NLCS game-winning 3-run homer on Wednesday, May 9th, when the Dodgers host Arizona. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance at Dodger Stadium and take home a Justin Turner walk-off home run bobblehead. Presented by State Farm. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Got a tight one going. 4-2. Dodgers in front to the bottom of the 7th. And Tony Cingrani on to try and protect it. Last time that he pitched, a tough one. Blown save against Miami on Tuesday night. Of course, the controversial balk called by Joe West. Brandon Belt to lead the inning off. A fastball misses up 1-0.
That balk call got under my craw as much as it did Nomar in the broadcast. It was, I couldn't believe it. Especially when his foot was turned directly towards and toes right towards first base. And I know it goes on the angle of the leg kick, but one of the things that the umpires are looking at is not only the 45-degree angle to make sure you're going towards first, but that front foot keeping the toe turned in so you look like you're stepping to first. Toe turns out, it looks more like you're stepping towards home. He did a nice job keeping his foot square, stepping towards first base, and I think he did a real good job being irritated. I didn't think it was a balk at all.
His first one in a few years.
A lot of times in spring training with new guys in a league or different people, umpires will go, hey, that's going to be a balk in the regular season. You might want to work on that the rest of spring. That one's getting close. They'll let you know on and off the field as you're walking off as a pitcher. Or they might let your catcher know or your first baseman know. Well, Cingrani, as long as he's been around,
it's not been a balk.
Not been a balk.
Same
it was nothing different. And that's the most surprising thing.
Belt bunts it against the shift for a leadoff single. He's doing a lot of things right this year.
It's a 2-run game, not a 1-run game. It is getting late. And he says, I'm leading off. I'm going to be the leadoff hitter and get us on base. A lot of people reluctant to do that because they're not very good at bunting, or when they fail at it and give up an at bat, they kind of back away from it. But Belt followed through on it and executed it.
Brings up Austin Jackson. 4-2 Dodgers, 7th inning here in the series opener. Jackson takes a strike. Ground out and a strikeout for the former highly touted New York Yankees prospect. There's the move.
Probably go back over the last 2 years, show all his moves to first and just overlay them. They look like shadows of each other.
He offered 0-2. This is the last move we saw. Looks identical. Oh-2. That one gets by. And out of play. Belt gets second.
Probably be scored a wild pitch, but Yasmani will tell you that he should have done a little better job on this one. Let's take a look at the kick in front of home plate. And yeah, it just hits the edge of his wrist there on the bone. Now you just hope that hand's okay, as hot as he's swinging the bat. Catchers take the bumps and bruises back there, and as you get into the season, more and more of them, you see him kind of rubbing on that hand. A lot of times you see catchers, they start out hot offensively, but some of these aches and pains and bruises catch up with them.
Already lost Matt Kemp tonight to quad tightness, officially announced by the Dodgers, and that one did pretty cleanly off one bounce, get him on that thumb.
You see some catchers with an extra flap on their glove down there that guards their wrist. Yasmani's got the scouting report there. Looks like he's got a little padding in the glove hand going in, but he doesn't have any extra leather sewn onto that glove that kind of comes up along his wrist to protect it.
Life of a catcher. He knows about it. Belt at second, nobody out. 7th inning. Cingrani to Jackson with a 1-2 pitch. Lays off a high fastball. Not often you see 3 catchers in the lineup on one night. It's the 2nd time the Dodgers have had that this last week.
Kike Hernandez will tell you there's 4.
Yasiel Puig would tell you there's 5.
Yeah.
2-2 now. Jackson fights it off.
So much flexibility in the Dodger roster.
And in defense of Puig, he started his life as a catcher.
The other day, he wanted to be a pitcher. Maybe not just the other day, maybe every day.
It's what we all want, Earl. Just one time.
I wish I would have hit a home run.
Can't win them all. 2-2. Ground ball to short. Hernandez throwing to get Belt at third. So Belt runs into an out. And one away here in the 7th.
Earlier in the game, we highlighted Kike Hernandez on the Dodger defense because he plays all over, but he's exceptional everywhere. He's not average. And if this was a normal utility or a multi-position player and they were a little unsure about what to do, they would just default to the conservative thing, which is just get the out at first. It's not my bad. But you know what? He understands the speed of the game, the speed of the runner, and makes the aggressive play and records the out.
Brings up Crawford, who has homered tonight. Yeah, the rule of thumb says if the ball is hit in front of you, you don't advance. That one hit right behind Belt. Where do you stand on bad decision or aggressive decision on that particular play?
I think it was an aggressive decision. As much as he did to get on base, he probably gave that base runner away in that decision to go there, especially down by 2.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's already in scoring position.
Right. Not sure how calculated the risk was.
Yeah, I defaulted to just thinking about Kike and what a great play that was and didn't concentrate on Belt, but you could go either way, and I'd rather compliment the Dodger.
Well, then I'm sorry to bring it up.
No. I think it was very accurate.
Almost hits Crawford. 1 ball, no strikes. Guy that grew up a Giants fan. Brandon Crawford here in the Bay Area. Spent his early years in Menlo Park, then in Pleasanton. He's ahead of Cingrani 2-0. Family had season tickets at Candlestick on the third base side there. Brandon went to his first Giants playoff game when he was 9 months old, 1987. Went to a World Series game in 2002 when he was a high schooler. Cingrani gets this one by him, 2-1. Went to another World Series game 2010. At that point, he had been drafted by the Giants and was in their minor league system. And we showed earlier tonight the Willie Mays statue outside. Brandon and his family have bricks with their names on them near that statue.
When the Giants had signed a deal to move to Florida, he was on the cover of the newspaper here in San Francisco about Save My Giants.
Yeah.
Can you imagine then to grow up and be a Giant, be the shortstop?
Cingrani's falling behind him 3-1. He used to hit off a tee in the backyard, mimicking all the different Giant swings and stances. And pretty cool thing. to become a staple and a long-term guy. He's in his 8th year. He signed through 2021. He'll be 35 at that point. He walks, and the Giants have the tying run on base. It's the first walk that Cingrani's issued this year.
First walk for the Giants today. The Dodgers have built some innings with walks. You don't want to give away that lead by starting to walk people.
Yorkis Hernandez 1 for 2.
2 of the Dodgers' 7 walks have scored.
Jackson at second, Crawford at first. Both pretty good foot speed. Same with the man at the plate and Hernandez. The pitch. Ball 1.
I think a visit is necessary here just because Cingrani's misses are all to the same place, arm side high. Even when they try and throw a little breaking ball, he's kind of a little gun shy, not really finishing. I think Yasmani is saying, come on, dude. Come right in there. Let's get him. Be aggressive. I love your stuff.
Been a busy night, unfortunately, for this man, Nate Lucero. We've watched Kemp leave the game. Had to tend to Yasmani Grandal. Had to tend to Hyun-Jin Ryu, who was hit by a comebacker.
When you don't see anything wrong with a pitcher that is throwing the ball, but he's throwing, you know, wide, and then all of a sudden you see a trainer, it tells me that there's some maintenance going on in the training room that they're dealing with a little bit. Because we didn't see him flinch, fall down, wince in pain. They're just, it's something that they're probably dealing with, that he's good enough to pitch, and they're just in a maintenance program. They wanted to find out, has anything gone up as far as what they're dealing with.
Ground ball, base hit to left. Here comes Jackson. He will score, and it's a 4-3 game.
Well, the walk doesn't score, but the walk moved the runner up, and all of a sudden now a base hit with a runner in scoring position. And they pull within 1. It's a ground ball that could be 2. But it's also an opportunity for it to squeak through and score 1, and it does.
Kelby Tomlinson will pinch hit out of the pitcher's spot here. Tying run in scoring position. Go ahead run on base with 1 out in the 7th. Pedro Baez. Strike 1. One and 1. The outfield is drastically pushed over as you'll ever see, and it's ripped the other way. Base hit to left field. Crawford's in to score. Hernandez stops at third, and a game-tying double from Tomlinson.
The first ground ball to the left side was pretty much routine. This ball is hit hard. Kind of ripped right down the line. Tomlinson just short and quick. Gets it by Farmer. 1 hop. It's been a battle for Tony the last couple outings.
With Joe Panik coming up, Dave Roberts coming out.
This is the first visit, so Dave did not have to signal the bullpen right away. So I think he's going to be out there and stalling a little bit. Giving Pedro a little bit more time.
He's going to make the move from Cingrani to Baez with the left-handed batting Joe Panik coming to the plate. Tied up again, 4-4 in the 7th. Joe Panik on the surface makes you say, huh? But left-handers 1 for 11 against Baez this season.
His last outing was not the cleanest either. Cingrani and he have both struggled. It really relates back to the bullpen hit a bump in the road against Miami. And they're trying to get back on track. They have been very consistent before the Miami series.
Another reason for Dave Roberts going to him here. Panik has struggled against him in his career. Giants have rallied to tie it here in the 7th. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And Baez to Joe Panik with the first one. That's ball 1 low and away. Panik 0 for 3 tonight. Facing a drawn-in infield. With Speedy Hernandez at 3rd and Tomlinson at 2nd. Baez falls in his delivery. Still no call. Now they call a balk. And the Giants have taken the lead.
I think I've seen this on video, but I've never seen it in person. We saw Ryu stumble on the mound and kind of twist his ankle, but he popped right back up. And Pedro just flat out hit the mound in an area where you never really hit it.
And Dave Roberts is all of us right now. Low and inside on Panik. Now, if he had gotten rid of the ball in the middle of doing that, then it's a ball, right? Yeah. It's a wild pitch.
He
but
just
didn't go until he had stumbled. Panic floats one to center. Chris Taylor will catch it, but it'll bring home Tomlinson. And the Giants have scored 4 times here in the 7th and lead 6-4.
Very solid ball game for the Dodgers up until the 6th inning, but this has been a very ugly inning with some walks and then some balls that have found holes and then some hard hit balls and a balk. It is unraveled here in the 7th.
Bases clear and 2 out for Andrew McCutchen. Strike one. Got a fastball by him, 0-2. All those runs, by the way, charged to Tony Cingrani. First 11 appearances this year, he gave up a total of 2 runs. The last 2, he's given up 5.
The bullpen is really looking to get on track. That Miami series, their ERA was almost 5. They got a loss.
Baez deals 1-2. McCutchen takes ball 2. So they'll try to come from behind for the 2nd time tonight. They trailed 2-0 after 3 innings. They got 4 in the 4th. The Giants with a 4th spot of their own.
They won 7 of their last 10. The Giants have won 4 out of the last 6, and they're both trying to inch into the right direction, but boy, the Dodgers have had a debacle of an inning here. McCutchen looks like he's tasting blood in the water. I'm going to throw him a cookie right here. Try and make a good pitch.
He did with a fastball, and it stays at 3-2. A bit like last year for Andrew McCutchen with a slow start, but he got it going from late May on, put together a typical McCutchen season. He was hitting 200 on May 23rd, but the rest of the way was top 10 in the league in just about every category. On another payoff, he corks one foul.
Took a while to get to that pitch. Yasmani wanted slider. Then Pedro said he couldn't see the signs. They went fastball in, fastball up. Then I finally got to the changeup. Pedro a little unsure out there right now. At least pulled the trigger on something off speed. Got that ball pulled foul.
It's starting to look like McCutchen's game-winning home run at bat against Wilmer Font back on April 7th to finish off his 6-hit game. Did that on the 12th pitch. This next one will be the 11th.
Yeah, he's pulled a changeup foul down the left field line and the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's getting a pretty good read on where he's at.
Corey Seager available off of the bench tonight, remember. And McCutcheon eventually earns the walk.
Dave Roberts not in any hurry to remove Pedro Baez. Nobody up in the Dodger bullpen. He needs Pedro to finish off this inning and maybe even start the next one. Hopefully finish that one.
Faces Posey, 1 for 3 with a single. High with a fastball, 1-0. And the longest tenured Giant now, with Matt Cain's retirement at the end of last year. Posey in his 9th year. Under control for another few years. Through 2021, when he'll be 34 years of age. The 5-time All-Star takes a strike. He was really the only bright spot last year for San Francisco in that last place season, but he hit .320. He was an All-Star. Former All-American shortstop at Florida State. Also was a closer for a time there. Had a high 90s fastball. Head coach there, Mike Martin, who's a college baseball Hall of Famer, thought that he was such a good leader, though, that he wanted to give him a try at catcher. Thought he could impact the game more. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They say after 3 or 4 pitches, looked like he'd been doing it his whole life. Just a natural back there.
Hey, kid, go down there and catch a pen. Let me see what you look like.
Yeah, that's good. That'll do. When he first started, he would watch TV in his dorm room while in the crouch to condition his legs.
When I was learning my mechanics in the minor leagues, I would throw socks, balled up socks, in the hotel room. I'd get a good tip from Ron Peronowski or Sandy Koufax, and I wanted to build it in. I would get like 5 or 6 pairs of socks from the road trip and ball them up and set the chair up in the corner and just work on my delivery in the hotel room.
2-2. Former Rookie of the Year 2010, MVP 2012, both those World Championship seasons for the Giants. McCutcheon dancing off first on a 2-2. Posey hacks and misses, strike 3. But the Giants strike for 4. An ugly inning from the Dodger bullpen. Cingrani and Baez on the left trying to come from behind again tonight. We check in with the studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Joe. The Dodgers have already had to come back by 2 runs down earlier in this game. Now they're going to have to do it once again. Coming up, Alana Rizzo will have reaction from the clubhouse. Nomar and Ned will break it all down. Stay with us.
All right, John. Old Dodger Tony Watson comes into the game as Pedro Baez looks on and hopes the offense can get him off of the hook. Watson has been awesome. I think this is the first time ever that is that a security guy? I was going to say, I think this is the first time ever that a fan has made it on TV by running on the field, but it was actually part of the staff sprinted out and grabbed a hat that had fallen on the warning track. Somebody get him a water. Puig bunts through the first pitch from Tony Watson. 0-1. Watson's given up just 1 run in his first 10 appearances as a Giant. There's the water. 0-2. Scott Alexander. Puig hits a pop-up. Crawford will catch it for the first out of the 8th. And now Kyle Farmer. Farmer has 14 hits in his major league career, and with the 2 hits tonight, 6 of those 14 hits have come against San Francisco. Of course, the most famous of those, the first one of his career, the walk-off double. On the corner, 1-1. Seager continues to get ready. Dave Roberts looking for the right moment to use him. Farmer turns on it, down the line to left and towards the pole, but foul.
A little bit of a reaction swing, but boy, did he turn on it and pull the hands in to get the barrel on it. That little bit of action and the location of the pitch, just hooking it foul.
Okay, there was a moment there where he thought, oh, maybe. The Seagulls have arrived.
They're saying, hey, look, fans, both you teams are off schedule.
They'll let you know. You don't even need the clock out there on the video board. Watson deals another 1-2, and Farmer smacks a base hit to left to start the 8th. Oh, with 1 out in the 8th. It's his 3rd hit of the night. And the Dodgers get the tying run to the plate here.
Well, this base hit will make Dave Roberts go to the bench. And he will definitely be looking for a long ball.
It was Muncy, but now with the tying run at the plate, he goes to Seager. On his 24th birthday. Ground ball, base hit to right. 2 on with 1 out. Seager with a pinch hit single. Making some noise against Watson here in the 8th. Back to the top of the order for Chris Taylor.
Doesn't usually take very long for Seager to create some action. He tacks the first pitch, finds a hole. Last two hitters for the Dodgers have found some holes. Now Chris Taylor may be looking to elevate one.
Kind of feels like Chris is due, doesn't it? 0 for 4 tonight after the 0 for 5 on Wednesday. The only guy in the lineup for the Dodgers tonight yet to reach. Watson's ready. His first one to Taylor. Outside for ball 1.
Those ground balls that find holes through the infield, as a pitcher, all of a sudden you get a feeling like I got to make a little better pitches. Maybe I get them to hit a little weaker. My fielders will start finding them, but that can lead to some problems. Falling behind the count, walking people.
Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Ross Stripling now joining Scott Alexander. And a 6-4 game in the 8th. A rare offensive game between these teams this year. 2-1. First 6 matchups. The pitching's been really good. One of the 19 matchups head-to-head this year. 2 on, 1 out, and a 2-1. Taylor hits a fly ball to left field, and it's caught for out number 2. Hernandez thought it was the final out and started to run in towards the dugout until Brandon Crawford woke him up. It didn't cost him anything. 2 out.
Gorky's with his head down had to get yelled at, get this ball in.
Tried to play it cool. Up to Austin Barnes here in the 8th. Barnes has walked twice tonight. Takes slow for ball 1. Not much breeze to speak of at this point. It's just so hard to hit him out of here, especially this time of night. On a 1-0, takes ball 2.
I called the Ryu hit, huh? So I'm smelling an Austin Barnes double down the left field line.
Wow, you are.
The way he was swinging in BP, the walks he's taken tonight, he's seeing the ball well, and I know his swing is on par with where he wants to be. He gets an inside fastball, middle fastball.
See what he gets on 2-0. Perfectly placed over the outside, 2-1.
There has been some width to the strike zone tonight. Yep.
With Farmer at second and Seager at first. Austin Barnes takes strike 2.
He located out there to Chris Taylor, got the ball just off the end of the bat on the weak fly ball to left. Fell behind 2-0 to Austin, is really respecting his fact that he can turn on that fastball down the middle or in. Stayed away with 2 off-speed pitches.
Big foul. In the direction of what you were predicting.
He got the barrel on it and he pulled it. I just It's going to be hard for him if they stay off speed low and away. He's going to have to try and take the ball up the middle to stay on it.
Another 2-2. Stays alive as they stayed away. Hit some big swings for this team a year ago. Became the starting catcher as the year went on. Hasn't gone off to the start that he envisioned this year. But in a big spot here in the 8th inning. 2 on, 2 out. And another 2-2 coming from Tony Watson. Another foul ball.
Better swing right there, that foul ball. The last one, he kind of lost his posture, but a little more conscious of watching the outside. You see him stay in his posture, the spine a little bit more towards the outside part of the plate where he can reach that pitch. I'll tell you when a hitter is swinging really good, when they can hit to both sides of the plate and they're in their correct posture.
Eighth pitch from Watson to Barnes. He protects again.
This is a good battle, and Austin is seeing the ball really well. If he wasn't, that's a fastball up. If Watson expects to beat him up there, he's slowed him down enough with the ball low and away. And all of a sudden, that fastball up to the outer half. Pitchers expect, like, I'm going to beat you to the spot, but Austin was short and quick.
Saw Hunter Strickland, the San Francisco closer, start to loosen in a hurry. If Barnes were to reach here, perhaps Bruce Bochy goes to him looking for a 4-out save. The 9th pitch from Watson. Barnes takes borderline, ball 3.
We saw one this wide, call for a strike. What is this one? It is a ball, and it is a little bit wider. It's been generous out there. Not that time.
And now the tying run will get a head start from first. Ball in the gap from Barnes could tie this game. Farmer and Seager will both take off.
It's not to pick you off. That's just to give you a little hesitation. Make sure I go home before you get that good jump.
Three-two. Another foul ball. What a battle from Austin Barnes. Next pitch will be the 11th to Barnes. Facing a guy that he caught a bunch over the final 2 months last year. Runners take off again. Barnes hits a fly ball to left. Hernandez started back, but will come on and catch it. The Dodgers strand 2 to the bottom of the 8th, trail by 2. Tomorrow, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Walker Buehler with his second Major League start against Chris Stratton, who's putting together a career year for San Francisco. And then in the nightcap, Alex Wood and Johnny Cueto. A couple of intriguing matchups tomorrow.
There is, and this Walker Buehler matchup, to get him on the mound again, it hasn't been official, but that is the probables. But he is starting to make pitches compared to just having great stuff.
Scott Alexander pitching the 8th, misses inside with his first one to Evan Longoria. Dodgers need to get Alexander right.
He has really struggled, and it is with command. The movement is there, but the consistency of getting the ball called for a strike at the knees. That pitch right there is high for him. It's about 3-4 inches above the knees. He wants it there or below, down to the hollow of the knee.
With a 1-1, that's where he wants it, but Longoria takes it, ball 2.
Just like Scott has changed, the scouting report from an offensive standpoint has changed about him. They all know that he throws that sinker predominantly. And they are zoning in on what's low and what's hittable.
Longoria bloops a base hit to left center to open the 8th.
He might need to start using his whole pitch mix to kind of get him off the sinker for a while he has struggled with that excellent command that he had last year. So that when he makes a pitch like that, it's not always the same exact speed, and a little straighter and a little up. Give a little mystery to his stuff.
Belt comes up. Singled his last time with a bunt to extend his hitting streak to 9 games, hitting close to 400 during that stretch. Takes ball 1 low. Well, for the Dodgers in the 9th inning, Hernandez, Peterson, Grandal, Dua, with Muncy and Utley both available to Dave Roberts. Going to be against Hunter Strickland. You know, there's only one team left in the majors without a blown save at this point.
And who's that?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Wow.
Owners of the best record in the National League. Entering the day 17-7. On 2-0. Bell takes a strike. That's with first-year closer Brad Boxberger in Arizona. Fernando Rodney was always going to buckle up, and who knows, but it's been a sure thing. Got another one tonight as they beat Washington 5-4, the opener there in D.C. D-backs have won 8 consecutive series to open the year. They're the first team to do that since the 01 Mariners. The 01 Mariners set a major league record with 116 wins. They're the first National League team to win their first 8 series since the 77 Dodgers. Ball 3 on Belt. If they win the series this weekend against the Nationals, it'd be the second longest series winning streak to open a season in baseball history. Only longer one. World champion Cubs in 1907 won their first 11 series of the year. Belt hacks it foul, 3-2. They've done it without Jake Lamb much of the way. Done it without Steven Souza at any point. And they've done it without Greinke or Ray really pitching like Greinke or Ray. The payoff. Base hit to center.
Well, if you're Scott Alexander, you got to find it in a hurry. You got to bend and not break. If both balls that were hit are up where he has to throw a strike. He's trying to mix in the breaking ball a little bit, but hasn't been able to throw it for a strike yet. Really backing into the hitters, knowing that make him get it up, and it's a little straighter and easier to hit.
Austin Jackson, Giants trying to add on to this 2-run lead. Jackson grounds it foul, and it's 0-1. They've won 3 of 4, San Francisco has, after a 4-8 stretch. And while the Dodgers have won 7 of 10, it continues to just not really feel like it. Trying to avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat tonight, though, after the back-to-back losses to Miami. No balls, 2 strikes. Nice looking pitch there.
Well, that's the difference between getting strike 1 and then they have to bite a little bit more on that low sinker compared to being 1-0. They just spit on it. Now you're in 2-0. So the stuff is there. The consistency's not yet, and the counts he's been building have not been working in his favor.
Strikes out Jackson. The sinker looking like it should.
Excellent 0-2 pitch. And you see the bottom drops out of it. He just got to learn and feel the difference between that ultimate one and a good solid one for a strike to get ahead.
Up comes Crawford. Alexander, Bay Area native. He's from Santa Rosa. This is outside with a slider for ball 1 on Crawford. Started his college career at Pepperdine and then came to Sonoma State, Division II school. That's where the Royals drafted him from, the 6th round in 2010. Softly bounced back towards him. Alexander will hustle and feed Bellinger. He's safe at first. Oh, no, now they call him out. Not sure why first base umpire Trip Gibson originally said that he was safe. He asked for the ball. Bellinger showed him, and then he said out.
I think Trip Gibson just doesn't understand where the ball is here. Maybe gets blocked out a little bit. Doesn't see Cody receiving it, but definitely out. Might have been looking down at the bag for a possible tag with the head first slide, so didn't see the ball received up top.
Up to 2nd and 3rd go the runners, and Gorkas Hernandez with 2 out takes ball 1, and a big stop by Grandal. There's some big runs sitting out there for the Giants.
An ugly 7th for the Dodgers that put them down by 2, but get out of this without a run and you're within sniffing distance with 3 outs to go.
And the heart of the order coming up.
You got 2 batters to get 1 out. There's no giving in here.
Two 2-0. The pitcher's spot due next. They've put Nick Huntley there. So take your pick for Scott Alexander.
Well, in some ways, if you're Scott, you don't want to pitch around him and just automatically walk him because you've struggled with command, and you don't want to have bases loaded, 2 out and possible walk. I force a guy in, but you don't want to just give in right here as a cookie. You got to trust yourself and your stuff and try and execute some pitches.
Especially against a guy having a good night. Hernandez, couple of singles, drove in a run during that 4-run rally last inning.
They can boo all they want, but these 2 right here, they want to get it right and get on the same page right now. Get Scott in a rhythm so that when the signs go down, it's the one he wants. Yasmani sets up the target. He goes into a stretch and he feels good about where he's at. Just as much rhythm in a delivery or a hitter swinging the bat, and the combination between the pitcher and the catcher, the rhythm of executing a pitch, it can start right here.
A 2-0. Good take by Hernandez, ball 3.
Outstanding pitch. That's a pitch that hitters will ground out on or swing and miss at, but not in a 2-0 count. Count's got to be reversed. Even in the count, ahead in the count, probably offers. Behind in the count, nope.
He walks him, and they're loaded up. So Nick Hundley will come up with nowhere to put him.
Pressure, bases loaded, 2 outs, but it's exponentially growing if you throw ball 1.
Caught the corner, strike 1. This is the 4th time in Alexander's 10 outings that he's given up at least 3 base runners. They're trying to wiggle out of it with no damage. Awkward swing and a miss, and he's ahead of Hundley 0-2.
Yasmani's got to be on his toes behind the plate. You got a guy on the mound who's going to try his absolute hardest to get out of this. He might spike one a little low. You got to be ready to block it.
Hundley pops it up, short center. On comes Taylor, lays out and makes the catch. Chris Taylor with a diving play to keep the Dodgers within striking distance as this game goes to the 9th.
Sensational effort. The jump, the play, and the hands at the end, securing that with the impact of the ground. It gives the Dodgers a chance, down by 2 with 3 outs to go.
Saves in there, and he takes it for the 9th with the Giants ahead by 2.
It's going to be a big fastball coming at you. They are looking to get somebody on. If there's a guy that knows how to work the count and get on base, Dave Roberts has just put him up there.
Chase Utley to lead the inning off, then Peterson and Grandal, Bellinger and Puig. So the teeth of the lineup coming up as the Dodgers try to erase a 2-run deficit for the 2nd time tonight. Strickland's first pitch of the ninth is hit foul. Chase, kind of a quiet homestand, was 1 for 11. That can be said about a lot of the guys in the lineup. Trying to get it going as this road trip gets going. Strickland deals and Utley takes low. Giants got 2 in the second on a pair of home runs against Ryu, Longoria and Crawford. Dodgers, all 4 runs came in the 4th. The Giants with a 4th spot of their own against Cingrani and Baez in the 7th. That's the difference right now. On a 1-1 pitch, Utley hits it foul, 1-2.
Strickland threw him a fastball in and then a couple of splitters away, taking some speed off. He can go from 96, 97 miles an hour, drops down with that off-speed pitch to 88. Also has got a slider and a curve.
Good take from Utley, 2-2.
Attempted a backdoor curveball and executed it very well, just a little low. See Posey set up on the outside half. That's where the ball ended up, just down.
I think it's got a lot of late break to it.
For arm side, for a breaking ball, he's really getting to the front of that baseball to spin it.
2-2 now. Same thing, same result, full count.
Yeah, they had a good feel for the pitch. You can execute a backdoor curveball the way they did before. That must have felt good, and he said, I want to do another one.
So now what on a 3-2?
I think he's got to challenge him, and the 2 pitches he had confidence in was a fastball and then a little bit of that splitter away.
Posey wants a fastball on 3-2. Chase Utley takes strike 3.
Been a lot of borderline balls and strikes called tonight, and this will be another one. Let's take another look with the strike zone up. Oh, it's low. Chase had it right. Buster Posey freezing that glove and almost raising it up a little bit. That glove's moving in the other direction. It's definitely a ball.
That's where the majority of stolen strikes come from, the bottom of the zone. Peterson, who's homered against Strickland in his career, looks at ball 1 inside. Trying to set the table for Grandal in a 6-4 game 9th inning. Two balls and no strikes. Jock reached both times tonight. He came on midway through the game for an injured Matt Kemp. Early indication, tight quad for Kemp. The 2-0, Jock Peterson looks at a strike over the outside corner, 2-1. Fly ball to right center field, playable for Austin Jackson, and the Dodgers down to their final out. Grandal drove in a run with a double to open that 4-run 4th inning. Nothing since. Curveball's low. We'll play 2 tomorrow. Chris Stratton for the Giants, Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. That's at 1:05, and then at 7:05 it's Alex Wood and Johnny Cueto. Strike one.
Short night, quick turnaround, heading into a lot of work. Yeah, that guy can make it a long night with his .35 ERA.
One ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned it earlier. Part of the rotation's been really good, and the part that's been really good, they'll both throw it tomorrow. Stratton and Cueto. Strike 3 to the outside corner, and the Giants take this series opener 6-4.
This one hurts. Frustration at home plate as you walk back to the dugout. Wide strike zone, but deep down you know you gave the game away yourself in the 7th. We got to get it turned around quickly. 3 more here in San Francisco, but this is the beginning of a long road trip.
In that 4th and 7th inning comes our play of the game, brought to you by Lexus. Kelby Tomlinson, a pinch hit double against Tony Cingrani as the Giants got it done in that inning against Cingrani and against Pedro Baez to win it 6-4 and get their 4th win out of their last 5, sending the Dodgers to a 3rd consecutive defeat. For Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from San Francisco. We'll talk to you tomorrow with a doubleheader. For now, stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins.